most basic signals will help you understand the price movement and also will provide you with very good entries. Before I continue, I would like you to tell me if you can leave a message, if it is everything okay, if you can hear me very well, and I will soon share my screen. Segun, can you help me know if you can hear me, if everyone can hear me well?
Okay, so Razvan is trying to ask us if you can hear him
Okay,
well.
great. Messages
So
are
the
coming in.
messages
So
are welcome. So just drop your message. Yeah, I've seen
perfect.
someone. Yeah, perfect. So you can go ahead.
Okay, I will start discussing about one of my preferred strategies when it comes to trading, and we will go forth with live examples, with helping you understand how you can actually become professional when it comes to analyzing price action and trading on price action patterns with some very, very simple techniques. I would like you to keep your questions for the end of the event, because we'll have a Q&A session there, and it will be easier for me to go over your questions and answer rather than stopping during the presentation in order to answer your question. And I hope it's okay for you too. Okay, the strategy I would like to discuss today, it's one of the basic ones, and I would like to say basic because it's one of the oldest and most known strategy which can be used for day-to-day trading, analysis, projections, and so on and so forth. It is practically based on support and resistance. Let me just tell you a bit about this support and resistance. Is the fact that a support, it's nothing else but a price level where the demand is strong enough to prevent further declines. Prices tend to bounce from the support levels, while on the other hand, the resistance is a price level where the supply is strong enough to hold further increases. Prices tend to drop from this level. So if you have a support, then the prices tend to jump off that support, while resistances are usually stopping the price increase. And you will see that they are very, very important when it comes to placing an entry into the market, or even more going further, placing a stop loss or a take profit. Now, there are just these two, but these are the static ones. You will see further down the line that we will also have some dynamic support and resistance, in which we will not enter into details in this session, but we will create further events. So I spoke to Segun, and we will be doing this kind of events one every couple of weeks. So you can hear from me different strategies, different type of entries, and type of analysis. Now let's come back to support and resistance. I have here the chart of euro dollar. I hope everyone can see my screen and everything is okay from this point of view. And let me show you some examples of support and resistances. But before going into these, I would like to remind you that the markets will always move in trends. So let me just give you an example of trends from the beginning. A trend can be up, can be down, or can be sideways. Now, different type of traders have different types of strategies. When it comes to increasing trends, so uptrends like this one, for example, here, then best case scenario is to try to enter on the side of the trend. So basically on an uptrend like this one, the strategy would be to try on an uptrend like this one, the strategy would be to try to enter buy trades and move along with the trend going up, because the direction of the trend will always make moves bigger than the corrective movements. This is an impulse, this is a correction. This is an impulse, correction, impulse, correction. So as you can see, the correction on an uptrend is always smaller than the impulse. That is why generally it is better to try to trade with the trend, not against it. Now, when it comes to a downtrend, it is vice versa. You would rather look for sell positions for down moves rather than up, because on the up moves, the buyers are not strong enough to move the price too much, while the sellers have control and they tend to move the price down. And because we are already here, let me show you something very, very interesting. For example, in this section, I will change the properties of my line here to be a bit more visible. Let's go with the blue. Great. So as you can see, we had a downtrend. And after that, we can see that the price stopped here for a couple of tries. So the price stopped at, let me check the price. It's 1.1171, 1.1170 on euro dollar. Then it bounced back up. Tried again. It was a false breakout, so the price didn't go too low on this one, and we have here a candlestick pattern, something that we will touch in future sessions. Got back up. Here we can see that now we have a resistance, which is very important, because if the support keeps the price above 1.1171, the resistance is keeping the price below 114.80. So we can see here that the price closed in, it was a support, then after that became a resistance. This is a resistance level. After another breakout, we can see the price moving down, meaning the buyers here didn't have enough strength to push the price back. So here sellers took control. That's the entire idea and the point behind support and resistance. In the support, buyers are trying to push the price higher, and you have many traders getting into their buying. When you have a bigger buying power, then the price goes up. When it hits a resistance, meaning that sellers, considering that it's a downtrend, they are here placing sell orders, trying to push the price down. Now, in this struggle, it seems that the sellers won. Buyers tried to go above that level again. So this is a psychological battle between buyers and sellers, and this happens each and every time a support and resistance is met, and not only on the forex market, but you'll see that on stocks, you'll see that on commodities, you'll see that on indices, and so on and so forth. So basically, everything started with the grandparent of technical analysis, Dow Jones, back in the 1800s, close to 1900s. So he actually saw the struggle and the psychological involvement when it comes to different levels on the market. Support is basically where buyers are stronger, while resistance is basically when sellers are stronger. Now, coming back to this example, because here becomes very, very interesting. Sellers won, the buyers pushed the price back. Now sellers moved from 114.80 down to 111.71. This is very important. This was a previous support, now became a very strong resistance. And you will see down the line that most of the time, levels which were support becomes resistance, and vice versa. Levels which were resistance becomes support, because those levels are key levels for traders when it comes to price movement. Okay, we can continue. Let's say we will take this level here. Why is it a support? Well, we had a drop all the way to 108.29. pushed back. As I said, previous support now is resistance, 1.1171. Price was pushed again back. Here we can see that the price actually tried to bounce back up, but the buyers didn't have enough power and dropped all the way to 103.29, coming back to retest the previous support as a resistance. Now, why would this be important for us traders, technical analysts, and people trying to get into the market and make money from the market? Well, if we find these key levels in our analysis, let me now get back to current moment, right? What does the price do right now? So let's see, what do we have here? Well, first we should start looking for max levels, then closer we should look for low levels. We should go a bit lower because we have here another level. We can see a maximum here, what was touched here and very close here. And it seems that the market right now, it's struggling after a very strong rally. It is struggling to go above this 109.43, closing in to 109.98. And don't forget, here we have 1.1, which is a round number, which is a very strong psychological level. So 1.1, it's a very strong psychological level for a euro dollar. And here we have a very good resistance area, right? This is a daily chart, but let's move closer to H4 and H1. H4, we can see the price already dropped from this level once. This is the second attempt trying to move above, which currently failed. So what does H4 says? Well, H4 also says that we have a good support at 1.0826, meaning that for now we can expect for the price to drop back to 1.0826 and move sideways. So this is what the chart is telling us right now. Now, considering all this and coming back to why it can help us traders, well, first of all, my analysis always starts with what is the trend. In this case, the trend is basically an uptrend, right? So what can I expect? I can expect, because I have another higher high here, I can expect for the price to drop to make a correction. Now, this will be very interesting because here I can expect a bounce. It doesn't mean that it will happen, but I have very good reason to believe that this is a support area which will actually help buyers to push the price back up and move towards 1.1. So as expectations would be something like this case. Now, what does happen? What happens here? It will give us very good opportunities to try and make use of this support area from here. 1 second, let me just add some rectangles to my platform. Here, as I said, we have a good support area. Let me make it a bit more visible. Okay. Doesn't seem to want to do that. Please excuse me 1 second. I'll try to make it a bit more visible because I know my chart is very small. I'm using a laptop and I know it's very small, but it doesn't want to draw. Well, doesn't matter. I'll just use it like this. I hope it's visible. Let me know if it's not visible, and I will try to make the background of it more visible, or I can actually go a bit on zoom in. Coming back to the chart, I'm expecting for the price to get back down here and waiting for a signal to buy and move in the same way as the trend does. Now, this would be one of the strategies. So first of all, I would like the price to come back down here, wait for an increase, set my stop loss, for example, somewhere around here below the support area, as you can see, below the support area, and have my first take profit somewhere around here. And in this case, I would have a risk reward to reward ratio of at least 1 to 2. But I can use, again, a risk management strategy, which we will be handling in the future, like let's say if I go in with one lot, I can actually take out 0.5 lots here. This is a scale out strategy, and I'm giving you some insights. I'm entering one lot here with a stop loss. This is the maximum loss that I can handle, and based on my risk assessment, this is where I should get out of the trade. And here is my take profit. But considering that I'm on the same side as the trend when I'm entering, so I should be able to actually target for more. So I will be scaling out with 50% here, and maybe at the next level of 1.100, I will be taking out with a better risk to reward ratio than if I just get out here with everything I have. So I will be still making a bit more money on 0.5 from, let's say, 109.72 to 1.10. This is a scale out strategy. You also have scale in strategy, but those are a bit more complex and requires some experience, and they can become very tricky when you always add up volume to your trades, but you need to have a very good money management system. Now, this would be something that I would actually look for in euro dollar. If I would not see a drop here, or I would, let's say, missed it, I would check for a break above this 109.43, trying to get a little bit of increase from this level upwards. So when it comes to support, we have different strategies, like we have breakouts. As I said, if it does break above this level, I can try to get into the market for a lower take profit, but still with a very good chance to hit 1.1. We have stops. So basically, when the price stops at this support level, as it did here. Now, for as a parenthesis, for people who are also trading against the trend, they would look for this signal, as we have it here, to get into a sell trade and maybe take several pips to 108.69 just for a short period of time. Don't forget, we are on H4, but we can move closer to the price, and then things will be looking a bit different here on H1. Based on each one strategy, if he's a day trader, swing trader, I'm mostly leaning towards swing trading, but I also have an affinity for day trading and short-term trading. Sometimes going into scalping, but scalping is also something you need to take time to learn and be present in the market to react very fast and to have a very good money management system and entry strategy, technical analysis entries, I mean. So coming back to H1, we have the resistances on H4. We can look for a drop here, retest, and maybe then a break towards. When it comes to multiple time frames, we can use a resistance from the H4 because it's stronger than H1, and move down to H1 or M30 or M15 to fine-tune our entries and to get tighter stop losses, because that's the most important thing. Moving down to lower time frames will help us fine-tune the entry. That's the main reason, and also give us better risk to reward ratio by tightening our stop loss with better signals on H1. Let me go over AUD/USD. This is a fast one because I just want to replicate what I did on euro dollar. starting with a resistance here, 0.6388. Going lower, we have a support area around 0.6365. Now, of course, this looks very well with a double top, which is a price action pattern. And this usually tells us that there is a higher probability if the support line breaks and the price closes on this H1 below 0.6365, the probability increases for the price to drop, let's check it, to drop to a target somewhere around this 0.6342, where we can actually find that there is a support somewhere in the area. We can check it, it's lower, but again, moving a bit higher, we have local supports on this level here. So in this case, considering the price action, we can have a break below 0.6365, and this would be a strong selling signal for targeting 0.6336, while a comeback towards 0.6388 confirms that this is a sideways move, which can be a flag, which can be a pennant, which are different types of geometrical figures on the chart, waiting for a break above 0.6388 with a target towards 0.64. Again, support resistance, very simple. When you come to understand it and apply it on the chart as fast, and you can see them as fast and well as I do, you'll understand that they will be much more powerful than many indicators that are there on the market, complex indicators with so many behind them. When you combine too many indicators, let's say RSI, MACD, stochastic, moving averages, and so on and so forth. So basically, you do a cocktail of so many, the signals will become not so visible and clear, because you will have maybe a buy signal on one sell signal on another indicator, and it will be very difficult to understand on which side you should be. While if you come closer to the market and look for the price action, then you can actually use support, resistance, and the trend, understanding what the trend is in order to have your entries. Mr. Shegun, would you like to go on? Hello.
Yes, thank you, Razvan. I was actually muted so that I can allow you to have
Thank
what
you.
to
Thank
say.
you.
Yes, so let me ask the participants so that I can get their feedback. So far, Razvan has been talking to us about support and resistance, how we can do this manually, and how we can use especially 4 hours, 1 hour to predict the trend and take positions accordingly. So even if you are using phone, because this particular discussion, I know a lot of people are on the phone, and this could be a challenge to them, right? But I think since you're using phone, and phone does not allow much of third-party indicators, okay, that will be telling you this is where the resistance, this is where support. So this particular training is very, very important for you. And of course, if you want to do it on phone, all you need to do is to just click your phone horizontal, which will be landscape. And of course, if you a little bit of make your candles visible enough, you should be able to go to tools and be able to draw all these lines horizontal on your phone. So if you're able to do that, you are able to then predict the trend and trade accordingly. Okay, so let me get your feedback so far. Any issues? Is it clear, everybody? So somebody is asking a question: what is the easiest or smartest way to know that a trend wants to change? Well, since Razvan took the, I can answer really, but then I wanted to actually come from him. So he's asking, what is the easiest and smartest way to know that a trend wants to change? Now, if a trend is change, trend is defined really by higher highs and higher lows. So if a trend is going to change, then it's going to change that structure. But let me permit Razvan to actually come in and give you that straight away. Razvan.
Very good question. And again, I agree with you, Shegun. Best way to understand it is looking for lower highs, higher lows, and so on and so forth. And just let me give you an example. So let me take a good trend. One second. This is a very good example here. So what we have is, we have an uptrend high. This is a higher high. We have a low. This is not a higher high, so this is part of the correction. This is a higher low, and we have a higher high right here. We have another one here with a correction, another one with a correction. Now this is a higher low. This is a higher low, which is very important. Now here, what we have, it's a lower high. This is the first signal that the trend might change. Closing in is a lower high. So we had a lower low, sorry. We had a lower high here, followed by a lower low. This is a higher low, this is a lower low. Higher high, lower high. Now in this situation, this is one of the strongest signals that the trend is changing. And this is what happened: lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. And again, this is a higher high. Now we have, this is a higher low. Now we have strong signals that the trend could actually turn and move forward from the downtrend back to an uptrend. The only condition is for us to have a new higher high above 0.8427. But maybe we will create a session with price action and understanding trend patterns, higher high, higher lows, and vice versa. That would be very interesting.
Yes, thank you very much, Razvan. Now, Edgar River Endurance, I hope that's clear enough. Since you sent this message to me directly also, so it makes sense that that we actually explain this for everybody now, not just in Euro Pound. This same chart or chart structure will be applicable to all charts. Doesn't matter whether it is Euro Pound or anything. Okay, so, but of course, looking at this 1 hour chart, so if you want to actually know the trend originally, that means where the trend is originally on any chart, you need to look at D1, W1, MN, those 3 major time frames will tell you, or give you a perspective of as to what the price is doing. So, for example, if you look at gold charts, which I'll be looking at shortly, even on your own now, if you go ahead and switch to gold chart, of course, let me just share my screen since I'm going to be looking at that. So if we look at gold charts, anyway, I hope all of us can see my screen. I'm now presenting. So this is my, permit me to be sure that I'm actually sharing the right screen. Yeah, I think that's correct. So I'm actually sharing my screen. So if you look at, this is just GBP-JPY. We are not discussing this yet. So I'm going to just clean this chart. Permit me to just clean this chart. Okay, so if you look at gold chart, for example, you could say that this is uptrend, obviously. But this is just an hour chart, all right? So if you want to know the direction of a price, you want to look at D1, you want to look at W1, you want to look at monthly charts. Now, those 3 structures should give you an idea of what price is doing at a glance. So for the trend to change, all right, it will start changing from 1 hour, right? It will start changing from 1 hour. So if, for example, if a trend is sideways, okay, you want to know whether the price is really ready to go up and go down. So I'm going to go back to that Euro Pound because gold is 100% strong on a trend uptrend. So let's go back to that Euro Pound that Razvan was looking at. I'm going to go to majors and go to Euro Pound. Euro GB. Okay, so let me just go to, give me a second, let me check here. Should be able to see Euro Pound, Euro GBP. Okay, so I'm going to go to a free kind of like clean template that we can look at. And then I'm going to click on, say, D1. Now, if you look at this particular instrument now, at a glance, you know that there's no particular trend forming. So this gives you an idea of, this is a very good chart to know. Since the price is sideways, you want to know which of the trend is dominant, whether the uptrend, or because 2 of them are at play here. There's no dominant trend. There's no particular trend that is, oh, this is so good, this is so strong. So this gives you perspective. When the trend is changing, you will know. So since the price is sideways right now, this trend of this particular chart, you could not go back to 1 hour and know whether the trend is shifting at a glance. So if you go back to, let me go back to H1. And now, just like Razvan explained, you want to know whether the trend is going to continue to go up or go down. But like Razvan explained, you will need a break of this structure for you to be sure that the price is really, really going to continue to go up this structure. Okay, so maybe I can make this follower, just leave it like that. But for the trend to continue to go down now, you want to see a lower low. So, and the lower low must come when the price is now beginning to trade around this level, right? Then you know that, oh, the trend is actually shifting to the lower low, then you cannot begin to sell. But as it is now, this is not, except you want to trade it strictly support resistance, then this should be a very good time for you to start, trading on the sell direction. Otherwise, you hold on until the trend begins to shift back to the other side, which will be lower low. Or it begins to trade to the upside and break this structure to form a higher low. Then you know that the trend is shifting. And now I hope that is 100% clear to everybody. Of course, now I'm going to go to, since I have the floor, I'm going to go to gold, and then we can look at what gold is doing. So interestingly, I think on Friday, Friday. So gold eventually hits the maximum, which was about $3,004, right? 3004, right? But as of today, gold made a clean new high. So as I was actually asking a strategist earlier on, not Razvan anyway, but somebody different, from this industry, and I was asking him, really, guy, tell me, what is gold really doing? Where is it going? And he was like, well, he's not sure of anything because gold has broken all structures. Okay, so please pay attention to this part. Now that gold has broken all structures, so it means that the idea of support resistance, yeah, it will still come to play, but you need to be very careful because now that it has broken all structures, if we look at what we have here, there's no more resistance, right? There's no more resistance. So the sky is what Nigerians will say, sky is the limit, or is it an English word? So there's no body stopping gold right now. And this is 100% because of fundamentals on the ground. In the sense that the Trump administration is having this price, or what they call it, tariff war against different countries in the world. So a lot of people are actually flying to safety, which means that gold is actually very, very attractive to buyers. So if you go to monthly charts, you will see that this trend is still very strong to the upside, which is not normal, because if a trend is moving, it's supposed to have a correction. Okay, on the monthly view, we are not seeing anything like that. So the resistance has been broken, and of course, we good with it. So here was the last resistance visited, I think around February, thereabout. Okay, but now we have cleared that part, all right? So, and now gold is still very much strong to the upside. So this March, we expect gold to close bullish on monthly chart. I cannot tell you whether the price is going to start descending now, because even on the lower time frame, because if a trend is changing, really, it should, right? It should start from lower time frame, for example, 1 minute. But if you look at the 1 minute chart right now, there's nothing like, even though we are seeing corrections in there, just like Razvan say, higher highs and higher lows, but we are not seeing anything like, oh, the trend is changing back to the downside. It's not really happening, right? So let me click on here and see if I can use arrow to show you the levels of higher highs and higher lows. You see it? These are the higher lows. So even if you are using your phone, you should be able to virtually see some of this. So the trend is still 100% intact. Now, for the structure to change, since we're having higher highs and higher lows, let me see if I can click on arrow down to show you these are the, oh, sorry. Let me delete this and use the arrow that points down. So these are the highs. These are the highs. Of course, this is a current high right now, right? So, and of course, we duplicate this also to show here, to tell you that the trend is still 100% intact on the 1 minute chart. So if the trend is going to change on the monthly chart, it will start right here on this 1 minute chart, or even 5 minute chart. But whatever the case may be, we're having it intact. Now, right now, on this 1 minute chart, you should know that what we're having right now is support, and support. We're not having any resistance, right? So the price is breaking structures, forming support. So this could be a support in the future, right? So, and of course, that support has been verified. What I mean by that is, if you look at here, at the point in time, we have this as resistance, right? And then we have that level broken around here on the structure, and of course we tested around this structure. Okay, that's to tell you that this trend is very, very strong. That's what you are seeing here. Okay, so for us to now have a downtrend, let me drop this one here. We will need to see a break of this structure, which will happen on 1 minute chart. Okay, so but note that if you are trading a 1 minute chart, you're actually going against the trend on D1. But since we don't have a resistance right now on gold because it's a break of structure 100%, then we need to be very careful, okay, because on the monthly chart, like I said, there's no limit. We are not seeing any limit on gold. Okay, I'm trying to bring in a monthly chart, of course, the weekly chart. So we are not seeing, there's no limit right now. So if you are trading gold or if you're a gold trader, you want to look at some of these liquidity things. So if the trend is changed, of course it will change. If the trend is going to change, then it will start changing from 1 minute. But as what we are seeing right now is that gold is breaking ground, and of course it's actually a good time for traders, to start, rallying in and entering. But once you see a structure like I just showed you on 1 minute, then you now begin to say, oh, this is the idea. Now, for example, now if this price returns right now and come back to this level on the 1 minute chart, you should know that the price has returned to support. Then you can start buying, because the idea is to buy around support and sell around resistance. Now, any question on this one? On this good? Somebody want to ask question on this one? I think it's clear enough, but questions are welcome. Okay, so I'm still waiting for more questions so that we can address it. Just drop your question on the comment section. You could address it to me, you could address it to Razvan, you could address it to the moderator of this forum. So if you are finding it difficult to drop a comment, you can just try and see if you can go to the comment section and type your question so that we can look at it. It's very, very important. So that we can have a feedback and be sure that this is actually clear to everybody. Any questions so far? Who is going? Questions? I'm waiting. No questions. All right, so I'm going to, with the same idea, before I allow Razvan to come around and discuss more, let me go to US30 and share my idea of what I think price is doing. So I was actually looking at investing.com, I think a few minutes ago. Now, investing.com is a website where you go to, and of course, you can find news on, events around the world. Okay, so let me see if I can just share my screen to show that. Let me see if I can just share this one. So I was looking at this investing.com and I was like, oh, what's this one? This is 100% on gold. And of course, it's telling us that gold is 100% on a strong buy. Today alone, gold has gained about 36% of its previous close price. And if you look at the technical indicators summary, you see that on all, it's actually on the strong buy. But if you look at some technical indicators, okay, on the technical indicators part, you see RSI and all of them suggesting overbought or stochastic. But of course, the moving average and the rest of them is still telling us a strong buy. So I just finished gold. But now, if you look at what we have, I think I was looking at a page where I was looking at, let me just come back here and look at gold future, no, not that one. The stock. And also, I was looking at this US30 and Dow Jones. So Dow Jones, which is US30, actually have a kind of like so far so good. We are still good because we still have about 353% move to the upside for that. But as of now, it's beginning to kind of drop a little bit, which is okay. But of course, I still think the price is stagnant. So eventually, I'm going to just share my second screen, which is the chart I was looking at. Let me just come here and go back here. So, but eventually we have this structure. So right now we are beginning to see a break of structure and a retest, just like Razvan explained. So if I click on horizontal line, like so, have it here. Let me see if I can use, instead of horizontal line, I can use this follow to show us not field. Okay. So of course we have this. So if we have this one as our area of interest, we already have a retest already. Now, this particular instrument is on uptrend on the D1. Now pay attention to this, since we are discussing support and resistance. So on the daily time frame, this instrument is on uptrend. Okay, so that's what we have here on the T1. It's on uptrend. But of course, right now, trend is shifting to the downside. So we want to know whether this trend will resume. Okay, now we have a very strong correction. If you want to know if a trend is changing, those are the things you look at. So over time, we've seen the price doing higher highs and higher lows in all these areas. But right now, we are beginning to see something different. So we are now beginning to have a very strong impulse to the downside. So we want to be sure that the price is actually changing downside before we begin to sell. But right now, on the 1 hour chart, since we're looking at the 1 hour chart, we see something different. Okay, as if the trend is beginning to, after this downpour on this area, after this strong downpour, we're now beginning to see a shift of structure. Well, is it that the price will now begin to go back up? Those are big questions. So because now we've seen this area as a previous support, turn resistance. Let me click on arrow down. Turn resistance around this area. Turn resistance around this area as well. Turn resistance around this area. Now, turn resistance around this area. But suddenly, this same area, the same line, we're now beginning to see price breaking it and retesting it right now. So if the trend is going to change to the upside, then we want to see some candlestick structures that support a buy, for example, bullish engulfing, and all that. Then we will be sure that the price is actually going up. But if we now begin to see in the future of this price, we begin to see candles closing below this area. What did I even do? Let me delete this one. That's not what I mean. I actually mean to bring in arrows down. So if we now begin to see candles close below this area, then we know that the price is actually ready to resume back and go down. But of course, as of now, we are just waiting for bullish engulfing bars to form, and then we begin to buy. So not just bullish engulfing bars, you will see maybe doji that supports and sits on this support, then we'll now begin to look for it back. But of course, clearly the resistance was broken here. Of course, we expect that the price will continue to go back to the upside. Even though we have a hammer, the color could be an issue, cost about that. So that's what I have for you on US30. If you have a question on this, just drop it in the comment section. We can read it and look at that. So somebody is asking a question. Somebody is asking, yeah, Mr. Sheikh, is this class recorded? Of course, this class is recorded and it's actually on YouTube live right now. So if you're on YouTube, you can watch it. But of course, you can also go back to YouTube in the future and watch this. So everybody listening, this class is on YouTube. So, and of course, the video is going to be kept there, even though it's live right now. So you can always go back to our YouTube page and listen in and watch again and again and again. So that's what I have for you on US30. I hope this is clear. This is how you know this at a glance, even if you're on your phone. I'm saying this, I'm emphasizing on phone because phone is a challenge. Of using phone could be a challenge to most people that are using phone, except you are very fast with your phone. Otherwise, you want to take it easy and you look at some of these things. But it's quite very easy if you're using phone, if you know how to plot some of these small lines of your chart. So let me permit Razvan to come back and fill us in on more. Razvan.
Thank you, Sean. Let me share my screen back with everyone. I hope you can see my screen and hear me well. Now, Sean went over Euro GBP. There's no point in me doing that. Was a great example for support and resistance, simple resistance support. I would like to show you something else. I would like to show you oil, WTI oil. It's again one of the most important instruments that you can follow alongside gold or indices and forex currency pairs. Oil and energy, like oil Brent and oil WTI, they are strong instruments for traders, and they follow them and they trade them. Now let me show you oil. So I have right now an H4. As Segun said earlier, it's good for you to always start with a higher time frame, understanding the
Please
trend.
share your screen, Razvan. Share your screen.
I did share my screen.
Go ahead and try it again.
It's shared. So it should be shared once again. Can you guys see my screen? Great. So attendees can see my screen. Great. Let me get back to oil WTI. So as I said, it's good for every trader to start with a higher time frame, understand the general trend on a higher time frame, then move to lower time frames in order to fine-tune the entry and get tighter stop losses and better risk to reward ratio by using targets for take profit on the higher time frame and stop losses on the lower time frame. Coming back to WTI, we have a very strong support and resistance here. Previous support now acts as acted as a very good resistance, coming back in as a possible support on a very low time frame. But do not forget that this is a downtrend, which means we here have a possible corrective movement. The previous lower high, it's here, 70.75. We did not break above this lower high from here, right? We did break above this one, but this, I would rather say it's more like a sideways move and not a strong correction. I would take this lower high and wait for the price to break above, do again a higher low here around this area, then I could expect for the trend to have changed into an uptrend. Right now, we are still on a downtrend with a very good support, local support at 68.33. We can move lower and we can see this level here very, very well, 68.32. Now, continuing with support resistance, local support 67.36, moving lower and so on and so forth, or moving higher, we have here support, then we can expect for the price to act at this level to act as a resistance, moving higher, 70.60. Now for me and for Shogun, because we have so much experience in the market and technical analysis, it's very easy for us to see them, to understand them, and to check behind and see which are the key levels for support and resistance. But for most for most traders, especially that do not have as much experience as us, it's a bit more difficult to grasp. And in my training sessions and in my trader and training experience, I know that the learning curve could be a troublesome one when it comes to finding the proper support, proper resistance to look for. Sometimes we miss them. Sometimes we tend to believe that there is a resistance somewhere, but it's not the strongest one and it doesn't work, and so on and so forth. Now, my question to you, wouldn't it be great to have a tool which can help us with this? That was also a question for me, because sometimes it becomes quite redundant and takes a bit of time to just start drawing. Maybe I have a new chart, or I have a different laptop on which I work, or I have a different platform, and I always need to draw these lines everywhere and check for the support, local resistance, key resistance, and so on and so forth. And especially for newcomers or people with not so much experience in the market, can be a bit difficult to understand right away and to apply it correctly. Starting from this question, I worked on some algorithms that would actually provide me with this kind of support, resistance. It will be great for phone users, true. But phone, it's again a limited software, even when it comes to MT5, which is a great platform and provides a lot of tools. Sometimes it's limited for custom builds and tools, because MT5 as it is doesn't come with custom built indicators for phone users. What I did and what I tried to do in order to help people with whom I talked and trained and in this kind of events was to build an algorithm that will actually draw, based on my knowledge, based on my experience for 17 years now, draw support and resistances on the chart right away. So let me give you this example. As I said, this is H4 oil WTI. I will show you one of the indicators that I have built from scratch. I'll leave the defaults and we will talk again about these settings here. And look at this. Just dropped it on the chart, already have the support I told you about here, 68.36. I also have the resistance level, 68.71. I can zoom in and check them closer. These are the levels that I will have to look for. Again, if the price drops below this 68.36, this support area from here, next one I need to look for is 67.31. The beauty of it is that this one will change into a resistance. You'll have a resistance here, and you'll always have an adaptive tool which will tell you where is the support, where is the resistance. Just drop it on the chart and you'll have it there by your side to help you with trading, with entries, with following great turning points for different movements when it comes to support resistance level. And it's also very highly customizable, because let me show you something. This is H4, we can see it, we can drop on H1, the levels will change, of course, because now we have the resistance here and we have the support all the way down here. Going back on H4, we can see that we still have a support around this area, which we cannot see on H1 right away. But what I can do is something that I actually thought about a lot, is to change the time frame for 4 hours. This will automatically show me the support levels, but let me just fine tune it a bit, because let's go through the settings. We have the maximum number of zones to display. As you can see here, we can move all the way to 10. So we have multiple supports level if we want to go granular and check every support level that we need to verify. For example, here, if I would look for a sell opportunity on a very short term, I would see that I have a support level at around 68.07, then 67.31, and I'll basically look for my exit around these levels. At each level, I'll check the price action. Or considering that on H4 we have an uptrend, I would actually look for buy signals on these support lines. Okay. Now moving to H1, you will see that all the support lines that were drawn on the H4, because of this setting, because I have set time frame for analysis 4 hours, I will see on H1 the support levels from H4, or I can set it for daily, or so on and so forth. Or if I move lower on M5, M15, M5, I'll still see the key level supports from H4, which is great because I don't need to have multiple charts open with the same instrument in order to check those levels on a higher time frame. I will have them on my chart on the time frame I'm trading on. So I'm fine-tuning my entry on M15 right now and checking for a break above 68.71. And I know 68.71, it's a strong one because it's a resistance level on H4. Dropping below 68.36 could actually trigger a drop lower to 68.07, which is the next H4 support. And as we can see on a lower time frame here, it was also a resistance. For a while, the price moved below it, and after that, it broke and went all the way up. Breaking above 68.07, we have 67.31, which is much lower, and this is again an H4 support. So multi-time frame, which we can actually look for multi-time frame on the same chart. Going forward, we can actually, for example, set up distance to zone trigger alerts. So for example, if the price moves to closer to 0.01% of my next support area, then see the chart now, it's in a support and resistance, which is very, very strong. But if it goes out of this and comes towards 68.07, I will have an alert that the price is moving closer to my next support. If the price will break up and come back to 68.71, I will have an alert that the price is moving closer to my resistance area. So I also have alerts right now going on H1. I see here a very strong resistance area, price moving lower to the next support on H1 is very visible, very nice. H1 is one of my favorite time frames anyway, and it gives you a lot of insights. Going forward, we can actually check for a longer range. So right now I'm looking back 100 candles and checking the support and resistances for 100 candles, giving me 10 support and 10 resistances on each side. I can drop it to 2, for example, if I don't want to have so many. And as you can see right now, price is below. So I had the current resistance is 68.27, but 2, it's a bit too low from my point of view. I would go for around 3 or 4. Moving to current, this is for H1. It is using H1 when I have to current. And another example, I can show the labels. I can hide them if you don't want to see these prices here. You can see that there is 100, this is 100. This is a power level for the support and resistance based on how many touches it had. And also you can take into consideration that if you would like, for example, some areas with more touches on that area, which gives even higher trust to the resistance or to the support, and I'll explain the touches right away, you can change it like this. So one touch is basically when the price got into that resistance area. Second touch, when it worked. And third touch, again, I have 1, 2, this is the third one, which broke, but moving back in time, I will see that it was touched before here in my 100 candles period. Of course, I can actually go for 300 candles, 1,000 candles, based on if I want to go for daily and so on and so forth, or trends which did not reach that level in the near future. When it comes to trading, I tend to look closer to the current time frame. So basically, I tend to look inside the last 100 candles, but the indicator is flexible enough in order to accommodate for each one's needs. And as I said, you also have notification. If the price will move closer to 0.01% for this 67.59, you will have a notification popping in with sound on your screen. Of course, if you are on a desktop or a laptop, and you can use this custom indicator. Now, how do you find this indicator? Considering that I've poured a lot of experience and all the algorithm was built by myself, and I also did the coding for it because I didn't want to share the knowledge with someone else and to be taken from there. I did my own coding for it, so I have poured both experience in trading, technical analysis, testing, retesting, extra testing, parameters, and so on and so forth. And on top of this, I also did the coding in order to make sure that everything works as I want it to work and to provide me the best experience on the chart, and draw the lines exactly where I would actually draw those lines. How do you find it? What do you think about this custom indicator that could help you in finding support resistances very fast and adapt your strategy and know where to exit or where you would have very good entry points?
Okay, so I will expect for people to drop comments. Do you like it? That's what he's asking. And if you like to have it, just drop comments. You can drop directly to him. You can drop in the general section for me also. But I want to see people's reaction. Is it something you would like, for Razwan to share with you? Let's see comments. If you like it, you raise up your, or maybe if people raise up their hand, just
If
give a wave if you like it, and then let's see reaction.
also, I would add on top of it another info indicator, very, very simple one, but comes in very handy. You will see it on my screen now. Here, you'll have the price, bid ask, you'll have the local. This is very important. You'll have the local time and the server time. The server time for each platform is very different to the local time. Rallytrade has a server time. This is my local time. Your local time will be different. So it's very easy to understand what is the difference in the local time and server time. Now, we have the trend here. This is a power trend which calculates how powerful the trend is based on moving averages. And right now, based on the latest price action, the trend is around 34.3, which is moderate, not strong, not low, but it's moderate. We have the volatility, which is the current volatility of the current time frame. We have the daily volatility, basically how much, if you would go on a daily chart, how much the price moved from open to current price on this specific instrument. So for example, on oil WTI, we have 1.08% increase. This is very interesting and very powerful, because if you know that usually the WTI trades around 1.6%, which is max average of it, you would not expect for it to go to 3%. So if you are in a buy trend and you know that the max is 1.6, 1.8% average on daily volatility, you would know that you will not be able to make or to hit your target in the same day for 2.5% or more. So this is very, very important. You also have the spread here, but spread is based on the lowest point from one instrument to another is very different. So you see here 400, but it's actually 4 because we have 0.00, and the 1 pip considered 1 pip on rally specifications, it's actually $1, which basically it's around this level. Next candle, considering we are on daily, this look, if you go on 1 second, H1, let me go back. On H1, we have right now 51 minutes left, close to 51 minutes left of this candle. So we will know exactly when the candle will close. This is also very important because most of the times when you trade based on price action, you'll need to wait for a close of that candle to confirm the breakout, to confirm everything that you will need in order to know for sure that or to have a higher probability to know whether the price is moving lower or higher from that support area, from that resistance area, and so on and so forth. And of course, the symbol, this is just informative. But this is, again, one of the indicators that I'm using on a daily basis with my price action, just to see the spread, just to see and especially the daily movement of that instrument, which is very important when it comes to expectations, to know whether I have that capacity it has the capacity to hit my take profit in the same day, or I should be looking for a trade on 2 or 3 more days based on this volatility average. And the trend, of course, if you are interested, you can also check the trend. This is moderate because right now we are on a correction move, and this has already hit the moving averages from the calculations that I do behind for this indicator, alongside with the support and resistance levels. Of course, Scalping is just a strategy. So one of the questions is if a scalper can use it. Of course, scalping is one of the strategies. Scalpers basically use very fast indicators like support lines, resistance lines, or moving averages, because they really need fast signal, not lagging signals. So each time scalping is profitable in his strategy, will use fast signals based on price action. Price action averages, daily averages or minute averages, and so on and so forth. This is how scalping would actually work very well. But it's you need to be there all the time in the market. So if you say that you'll be trading 1 hour today, that hour you'll need to be very focused on your strategy, have a very clear risk to reward ratio. In scalping, you need to close your losses very fast. You don't need to leave them going further, and also you need to close your profits very fast. So I can see that many people would be interested in having these indicators. Now I'm thinking, so these are my proprietary instruments. I build them myself. You will see here if let's say, let me just show you. If I put this on the chart on common here, this is copyright by me, right? I also have the code. Let me show you. 1 second. So if you do not believe me, I also have the code. This is very important. ID. Don't have the ID on this platform because this is my laptop and I have it here. No problem. Indicator, custom indicators. Everything here, this is for the info. So everything here is written by me, and same for this one. More than 700 lines of code, wrote every line, got every algorithm there. It's my proprietary thing, and I invested a lot of time and experience in them in order to work. I have never sold them. I have never given them to someone else besides the team I'm working with, and Shogun is one of the people I shared it with. I am thinking to provide it to you, to the people here in the event. But before that, I see that there are some questions. So can you please tell me what are the questions that you have? I can see some raised hands there. You can use the chat to write the messages.
Just drop your question on the chat.
Yes,
everybody.
that would be best.
Drop your question on the chat. Just click on the Razvan and drop your question so that I can see directly. Of course, you can answer them directly.
In the meantime, as I was saying, I'm really thinking of giving you this indicator in order to help you. Do you think it's free? Should I give it for free? This is a very tough question. No, look, I think we should do it the following way. Because I'm working with Rally for 10 or more years now, and I'm doing these events, and each time I did something was not to gain profits out of it, I will give it to you. So everyone in this event interested in getting the pack of the two indicators, I will make it available. I will provide them to Shogun, both of them. Here right now just has one. I will provide both of them to Shogun and for him to provide them to you or through your account manager. if you will make a deposit, so do not pay me. I don't need any money from this. I don't need payments, and what you will be doing will be for again your own profitability. If you make a deposit of 1 million by the end of this month, so it doesn't have to be today, tomorrow, you have 2 weeks now time to think about it. But if you make a deposit by the end of this month of 1 million, you will get this pack of indicators, both of them for free. You can use them as long as you want. There's no limitation to them. There's no monthly fees or anything else. They will be yours to use. Yeah,
So
this is
practically what Razvan is saying is that if you make a deposit of 1 million, not to him, but to your account, your own
yeah,
trading
of
account.
course, of course.
So you can now just to account manager, I've made a deposit of 1 million into my trading account. That was because I was in Razvan's class and yeah, the indicator he promised, please let me have it because 100% will be yours. I think that's what he's saying, right?
Yeah, of course. There's no deposit to me or no, in your own account, in Rally accounts. If you make a million deposit by the end of this month, again, it's a reasonable time. You will get both indicators for you to use wherever you want.
Okay, Razvan, what about if somebody already have a million in their account?
If there is someone with a million in the account and is here with us, then I'll make a 50% discount for that. A million in his account, it
That's
means
very
that
kind of you.
a
That's very
million.
kind of you, Razvan.
First of all, a million in the account means that everyone would like and wants to trade and be profitable in this market.
That's
Means
right.
that they invest time in learning and trying to build themselves as traders. It means
That's right.
commitment, and I actually believe that 50% would be a good discount for those with 1 million in their account already
Okay,
as
thank
a
you
new
very much,
deposit.
Razvan. So what Razvan is saying is that if you have a million or thereabout, any amount in your account that is a million plus, it doesn't matter. All you need to do is just add 500,000. That's 50% of 1 million into your account, and of course, the indicator will be on yours 100%. So if you do it today, it's all right. But Razvan, somebody is just messaging me that his account manager is not in touch with him for a while. So what I will need for this person to do, I think your name is Ginger Chin, something like that. So all you need to do is to send me your email, and then I can verify who your account manager is and let the person call you. Okay, so or
Please,
you can just give me your email. Yeah,
please solve this issue, Shegun, and
yeah, that's right.
discuss with the account manager.
Okay, so
Because
yeah, that's my goal.
yeah, so this is my offer for you. I believe it's a reasonable and fair one. You don't have to pay for them. We get some questions related to if it works on phone. Unfortunately, MT5 as a platform doesn't allow custom indicators on the phone. So it's a limitation of the platform. And from what I know, no platform has custom built indicators on the phone. That's an MT5 limitation. It's not related to it itself. I don't know if there are any workarounds for them, but most probably not. I'll have to check if they have any updates. But from my latest knowledge, MT5 on phone it's much more limited than on laptop or PC. If you have any other questions, I'm actually checking my MT5 account right now on my phone to see whether they actually enable custom indicators on the phone. So I'm still waiting for your questions or for Segun. If you have any other questions, let me know. We have a couple of minutes left. So please just. As I said, the official statement of MetaCodes for MT5
just dropping your questions,
custom indicators are.
And of course, Razvan will address them. But of course, like you said, we still have, I think, about 10 minutes or so left, so that we can discuss all that. But if you want Razvan to use this same indicator in your presence right now on any instrument on the chart, maybe you want to check something out different from what he has looked at, you can just drop it. So maybe, for example, you want him to look at it on Euro USD, you want him to attach it to USDJPY so that you can see the way it works on USDJPY. Maybe for more clarity, you can just drop it, he will look at it. Of course, we can round up. Questions are also welcome. Let me allow you to share his screen.
Yes,
you can share your screen.
As I saw, there are two questions here.
Yeah, you can drop it. You can share your screen so that I can answer them.
1 second. My screen. So, for example, I will drop both indicators here. This is Euro GBP. Okay, I have all the data here, and let me show you how I like to do it. I will save this as a template. Actually, I already have saved it as I said. This is the way I like it. Let's take soybean. This is a new chart. As you can see, empty chart. I just need to go to templates, load template, and SRE. I have it on soybean. Works very well. Here is the resistance. Second resistance is here. We have the support here, which is a very good support, as you can see. Have double tap here. We have a gap around this area with very good support, resistance, again support, resistance here. Going further, we have it as a support. So as I said, everything is fine-tuned based on my experience. I created the algorithm in such a way that each and every time we will get the best support and resistances through this indicator. And of course, it's customizable in such a way that you can change the parameters and provide it with even more fine-tuning in case, for example, you use it very often on euro dollars. Let's take it as an example, and you see that you would like 3 touches or 4 touches for a resistance to be considered strong. Or you would like to just see one, and you will have a granular display of that instrument there. Let's say we take US 2000, right? US 2000. Let's go for template, load template here. So right now the price became went below this previous support. This was a support and became resistance, and it's adaptive. So for example, if the price will move up here, this red line will become a green line, and it will become support, changing from resistance, right? So you can see right now we are around here. If let's say I would like to change the information in maximum number of zones, let's say 5. We'll add some more, and I would also want it to show it to me on H4 rather than. So this is H4, right? I have the support here. Now moving back to H1, we can see the levels from H4 on H1. So I know this is a resistance on H4, this is a resistance on H4, this is a support on H4. Okay, so any instrument you would like to use, it's adaptive, and it will show you on that specific instrument the support levels, the closest support levels and resistance levels based on the price movement, and it will adaptively change. If the price moves above the resistance, it will become support, and so on. And there was another question. Let me check. Another question. if there is a user manual for these indicators. Whenever you will get the indicators from your account manager, they will be trained personally by Shogun to provide you with the best experience and understanding of every indicator that you get from my side. So they will know to service you, to help you understand, to help you apply them on your charts. And if you have any other questions, I'll make sure they'll be ready to answer all of them. There is other questions here related to the change in the trend. So, Shogun, I believe we should actually make another session. Let's schedule it for
maybe in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, and we will have the subject especially for this trend changes.
Yes.
Yeah,
so I think it would be ideal.
We have a lot of questions about this, and I believe it will actually need a dedicated session to discuss about price action and trend reversals.
That's right. So we'll just do it in 2 weeks. Since Sheo is also listening, Sheo is part of this conversation, so he will make sure that maybe we just kind of like prepare us for that particular time. So 2 weeks is good. Maybe on the same Tuesday, same time, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. And then we can run something like a strategy class where we discuss price actions as to when a trend is changing, what you need to look for. Once it changes, what you are particularly looking for, especially on price action, so that you can begin to get in on time, not late. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so we have multiple questions here off topic. No, I would actually advise something else. So for all the questions which are off topic without relation to what we have here, because we have something related to fundamental news, we have this related to the price action. If you have any other questions related to price action, which is not related to the current subject of this event, please write them down, and I will ask the team to create a list, and I will personally answer to all your questions. Basically, for everyone, leave your email, leave your question. I will get back to each and every one of you with an explanation or an answer for your questions there. I will provide the account manager, they will provide me with your question and email. I'll provide them with my answers directly from you, signed by me.
Thank you very much. That would be much appreciated. And for all of us that have been part of this conversation today, it's been a wonderful time. Razvan, is it a good time to put a stop to it? Or you have something else?
No, it's about time we should close it. It became lengthy, and again, I promise I will answer all your questions. Relate to your account manager to this event. Have your question in written, and I'll get back in written to you through your account manager. And related to the 1 million naira, I will think about it, but as it stands right now, I believe it's
actually worth that much, really. Because if you want to buy this kind of indicator on MetaQuotes, it will cost you like maybe $500, $1,000 to actually purchase it. And since you are giving it 100% free, so it makes sense when they have money, because of course the essence is for them to be trading their account and be making money with it. So if you deposit 1 million into your account and you apply this indicator to your chart and you place a standard lot, 2 standard lots, or even a mini lot, and of course you make money, maybe you make 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, you will know that of course it will be beneficial to you. So it makes sense for them to actually have money there, because of course, what's the essence of having an indicator if you don't have money to trade it? It doesn't make sense. So when you have an indicator and you have money to trade it, it makes sense. So of course, people are going to turn in. So I expect that they just contact the account manager. This indicator will be available through your account manager. So once you make a deposit, your account manager will just 100% give it to you, right? And if they don't give it to you, let me know. Since all of you have my phone number and all that. So I made a deposit, but my account manager is not giving me. You let me know. It will be one of the first things I'm going to address. All right. Of course, you guys can have it. So thank you very much, everybody. Razvan? closing remark?
Thank you, guys. It was a wonderful session, and I promise you we will meet again in 2 weeks with and the subject will be set in stone with trend reversals and price patterns for that period. Is it okay, Shagun?
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you very much,
Great.
everybody, and of course, bye bye.
Bye. Have a nice day.